did it, we had Polaroid cameras, and we would select, 4 images and think, oh, these look cool together, and take a Polaroid picture. Sometimes it was a definite, sometimes it was provisional, but we went on trying different combinations and recording them always in Polaroid until we kind of got to a point where we thought, right, that's a done deal. We'll keep that one, we'll keep that one can be a whole page. And we were getting to the point where the book was filling up, and was inevitably the case. We never had too few, we always had too many. So it was literally a question of editing down and editing down.
Were you in the same room when you were working on all of this, or did you do it separately?
Depending on the book, at the beginning, on the first and third, we were all in the same room. And then we invited other designers to join us, like Vaughan Oliver came and that was quite interesting because we edited a lot of his work into the book. There was one book that was very much a kind of homage to Vaughan. And that was quite funny. I was amused with that because his work was so dominant in one of the editing things. I said, I was in awe of you when you came. And he said, I went into this business because I went to an exhibition of your work at the Durham Light Infantry Museum when I was a kid. So that was interesting. So sometimes, I'm looking at a page here, you could see the pictures sort of interacted with each other, and that was interesting. That bothered Storm. He said, they were never meant to be seen together. And I would think, well, no, but sometimes we bring them together.
It sort of sounds like he thought of the cover as the artwork and you thought of the book as the artwork.
That's correct. That's very much correct. But I had a view that it gave the book a rhythm and an emphasis that made it work. And it worked like, instead of a cluster of individual instruments, it started working like a symphony and coordinated. And it did work for the book, and I feel as a consequence, it worked for the album covers. If you could have one album cover per page, then you could celebrate individual album covers. But if you're going to do more than that, and this was to celebrate the diversity and huge quantity of brilliant album covers, you had to get more on a page. And if you were getting more on a page, you had to get a reciprocity with the images. They had to say, look at me, but look at this one. Look at me and look at that one. It was reinforcing each other. And yeah, we had arguments about it.
I was just going to ask. But were you all happy in the end with all of the books?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, Storm had to argue anyway. I mean, that was his nature. So he'd argue about things that he'd done. In those cases, we always let him win.